evening and welcome to Saturday 6-1.
The headlines this evening. Counting is underway in the local elections. Government parties hold up with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael battling it out for top spot.
I've been very consistent in terms of the lifespan of this government. Local election results do not correlate with general election results. We know that.
Sinn Féin braces itself for disappointment as independent candidates likely to hit record share of the vote.
Israeli forces free 4 hostages captured by Hamas on October 7th. Over 200 Palestinians are reported to have been killed in the operation in central Gaza.
She's holding her nerve. This is wonderful from Charlene Mosley.
And a golden moment in Rome. Ireland's 4x400 mixed relay team celebrate European medal success.
Local election results are starting to trickle in this evening, with the two main government parties holding firm and in a battle to see which of them becomes the largest party in local government. As counting continues, the body of a man has been recovered following a search operation off the coast of Galway. The remains of a man thought to be those of a person who was reported missing on Thursday were found on Weenish Island. The search operation began after the man got into difficulties while trying to retrieve a dinghy that had drifted from its mooring.
Ireland's 4x400 metre mixed relay team is celebrating after storming to victory at the European Athletics Championships in Rome. It's only the third time that Ireland has won gold at the competition, coming 26 years after Sonia O'Sullivan's double win in 1998.
Sligo, Dublin, Waterford and Tipperary were all represented on the winners' podium. 2024 European champions in the Eternal City.
We got a championship record, I think, close to a world record, and a gold coming away with it, not just on the line either. We took it by storm.
I just feel like it was our turn to win a championship medal on a senior level, and we really deserve it. We worked so hard and we really trust each other as a team, and that showed on the track today.
This relay team travelled to Rome as genuine contenders. After a solid first leg run, Chris O'Donnell passed the baton to Rashida Adeleke. She made up significant ground as Ireland moved from 4th to 1st before handing over to Thomas Barr. The soon-to-be 32-year-old produced a vintage leg to keep Ireland in the mix. With the excitement building on the final leg, Charlene Maudsley stayed patient and then made her move.
Helen Punnett is not as quick as Charlene Mosley. Just hold your nerve. She's holding her nerve. This is wonderful from Charlene Mosley. She is such a proficient relay runner, proving it with a gold medal for Ireland. Yes. In a huge national record, obliterating the previous record.
Honestly, it's everything to me. It's probably everything to the team, and the whole stadium was just amazing. The Irish fans turn up every time, and yeah, it's just super.
When I started there going into the blocks, I really felt like I was doing it for a whole country, and I wasn't nervous. I was really excited.
As the Paris Olympics edge closer, could there be more relay medal success to come? Dave Kelly, RTE News.
Now, still to come on 6-1, we'll get reaction to election results and trends so far from Pearse Doherty of Sinn Féin.
And we'll have the very latest on the local and European elections from count centres around the country. Welcome back. The main news again this evening. Election results are starting to trickle in this evening, with the two main government parties holding firm and facing a battle to become the largest party in local government. Sinn Féin will make some small gains on 2019, while independent candidates are performing well.
Well, at the Count Centre in Letterkenny this evening is Sinn Féin finance spokesperson Pearse Doherty. Good evening, Deputy. Thanks indeed for joining us. It is very, very early days yet, and I know you haven't had a count yet in Donegal, just some tallies. But from looking at the tallies, looking at the results so far, it doesn't appear as if Sinn Féin is going to make the sort of breakthrough in the local elections that you might have been hoping for.
Yeah, it was reported there, David, that we will make some gains in some counties across the state, and they'll be well won and well fought for. But look,
We're doing starting next week.
All right, Green Party leader Eamon Ryan, thank you for joining us on 6-1.
Still to come this evening, young athletes celebrate after Ireland's mixed relay team win gold at the European Athletics Championship.
And in the rest of today's sports news, we'll check in on the Leinster hurling final. Kilkenny out in front against Dublin at Croke Park at half-time. While at Roland Garros, Iga Swiatek claimed her 4th French Open title with an impressive straight sets win over Yasmin Paolini.
Welcome back. The main news again this evening. Election results are starting to slowly emerge this evening, with the two main government parties holding firm and facing a battle to become the largest party in local government. Sinn Féin will make some small gains on 2019, while independent candidates are performing well.
Well, let's take a look at how things stand at this early stage. So far, it's a pretty good day for Fine Gael with 5 seats. Fianna Fáil have 2, independents have 3, others have 1, which is Independent Ireland, and the Green Party has 1. If we look at the share of the vote, again, only 6 of the 166 LEAs have first counts in, so it's early days yet. Fine Gael in the lead at the moment, followed by independents. Now, sports news, here's Eva.
Thanks very much, David. Good evening. We will begin with hurling because the Leinster final is underway at Croke Park. Kilkenny and Dublin doing battle for the Bob O'Keefe Cup. The game threw in at 6 o'clock and the Cats got off to a flying start. Owen Cody raising a green flag in the first half. Kilkenny continued to dominate in the early exchanges. Now, the Dubs looked a bit rattled after that goal as the reigning provincial champions tagged on scores, including a goal by TJ Reid. At half-time then, the Dubs were trailing 2-18 to 9 points. And a reminder, the coverage of that game continues over on RTE2. Now, it's been a week of the dreams for Offaly hurling. They beat their Leinster rivals Laois in the Joe McDonagh Cup final at Croke Park earlier this afternoon. The Faithful County winning what was a tense encounter by just 3 points.
2 titles in 7 days. These are great times for Offaly hurling. The under-20 success last Saturday followed today by a gritty win in the Joe McDonagh Cup final.
It's just unreal. We were here this time last year and we went down to 14 men and still got extra time. And we're bet. We said to ourselves, if we get back here again this year, we're going to make sure we go over the line.
And Brian Dagnan with a goal opportunity, and he buries it.
Offaly surged into an early lead, Brian Dagnan giving the sizeable Offaly support exactly what they wanted. One of the 5 under-20 players on the squad was in scoring form too, Adam Screeney keeping the Laois backline on their toes. There was very little between the sides though, level 10 times in total during an entertaining first half. Paddy Purcell and Aidan Corby keeping Laois very much in contention. A setback for Laois, however, when Oisín Kelly raced in for Offaly's second goal. Well-taken scores from Ian Shanahan, Ross King and Aaron Dunphy revived Laois's fortunes.
Ticking it up instead is Jack Clancy.
It was a tense final few minutes. Ultimately, Offaly would edge it. Points from Killian Sampson, Charlie Mitchell and Jack Clancy proving decisive. 2-23 to 26 points, the final score. The faithful departed, but Offaly are now back with the big boys of hurling. Eamon Horan, RTE News.
Now, at the European Athletics Championships in Rome, Oisín Lane is competing in the 20k walk this evening. Sarah Lavin, Israel Alatunde and Brian Fay will compete later. Earlier this morning, Chris O'Donnell followed up last night's relay gold with the season's best performance in the 400-metre heats. The Sligo sprinter, who ran the opening leg of Ireland's historic gold medal mixed relay last night, shaved more than half a second off his best to finish 4th in a heat in a time of 45.69. Leinster are through to a semi-final meeting with the Bulls in the URC. Leo Cullen's side have beaten Ulster 43-20 at the Aviva Stadium. Robbie Henshaw went over for the game's opening try. The first of 2 James Lowe tries helped Leinster to a 17-0 half-time lead. 23 points was the final winning margin. Earlier, the Bulls beat Benetton 30-23. That's all the sport that we have time for, so it's back to David.
Good evening and welcome to Saturday's main evening news. The headlines tonight. first councillors elected as counting continues tonight. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael battle it out for the top spots as Taoiseach rules out a general election. Sinn Féin says party members will dust themselves down as Director of Elections expresses disappointment at results so far.
Not the result we hope for, and indeed there'll be a lot of disappointment with some of our new candidates that were trying to break new ground.
Israeli forces free 4 hostages captured by Hamas on October the 7th. Over 200 Palestinians are reported to have been killed in the operation in central Gaza.
She's holding her nerve. This is wonderful from Charlene Mosley.
And a golden moment in Rome. Ireland's mixed relay team celebrate European medal success. Counting of votes is in full swing in centres across the country tonight, following yesterday's local and European elections, with a number of councillors already. Holohan, thank you. Now, still to come on the 9 o'clock news, we'll have all the day's sports news as Kilkenny make it 5 Leinster titles in a row with a 16-point victory over Dublin. Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. Hamas has said that at least 210 people
said the operation took place in the heart of a residential neighbourhood in Noiserat, where Hamas had kept the hostages in 2 separate apartment blocks. It said its forces came under intense fire during the assault and responded by firing from the air and from the street. Sharon Lynch, RTÉ News.
Ireland's mixed relay team is celebrating after storming to victory at the European Championships in Rome last night. It's only the 3rd time that Ireland has won gold at the event, 26 years after Sonia O'Sullivan's double win. The performance was watched by many young aspiring athletes who were competing in Santry this afternoon.
Ireland! Sligo, Dublin, Waterford and Tipperary all represented tonight on the winners' podium, 2024 European champions in the Eternal City. The winning time of 3 minutes 9.92 seconds, setting a new national and championship record. Among those watching Charlene Mosley and her team's dreams come true were those competing in the Dublin Juvenile Athletics Championships in Santry today, including Rashida Adeleke's 15-year-old brother, who was competing for Tala AC.
I was screaming, everything was crazy. The entire house was screaming, I was actually so surprised.
More than 1,400 competitors are taking part in track and field events as part of these Dublin Juvenile Championships, with many competitors taking inspiration from last night's gold.
You have to have that chemistry with each other and make sure you have loads of practice before, because it all matters in the batting exchange as well, and all the positivity you bring around each other, you know.
Such an inspiration, because Tom Barr has been around here for 12, 13 years and he's still going, and he's just amazing, and he's come forth in the Olympics and now the Europeans, and
I'm pretty sure that was his fastest leg ever.
When you're handling the baton, you have to get it absolutely perfect to win a race and stuff, so yeah. Very technical.
I thought it was amazing. I thought it was a great performance from Ireland, and it really showed camaraderie. Charlene Mosley did an amazing finish. I looked up to her so much.
Eleanor Burnhill, RTE News at Morton Stadium in Santry.
Now with the rest of the sports news, here's Yvonne.
Thanks very much, Eileen. Good evening. Kilkenny are the Leinster hurling champions again. The Cats had a massive 16 points to spare over Dublin in this evening's provincial decider at Croke Park.
15 points up at half-time, Kilkenny had secured their 5th provincial title in a row long before the final whistle. This goal from Owen Cody would prove to be an ominous sign for Dublin.
Opportunity for them here. Cody, goal!
The boys in blue rattled, TJ Reid adding to their problems.
Pressure on Brennan. Oh, and he dropped it. Goal! Oh, a nightmare for the goalkeeper, TJ Reid.
The great capital comeback never materialised. The Cats were clinical as ever. TJ and company punishing every mistake.
TJ Reid, it's curtains now. It was a long time.
Mark Grogan got a late consolation goal for the Dubs. Too little, too late. 3:28 to 1:18, the final score.
And Kilkenny win their 76th Leinster title. They are still unbeaten in Championship 2024.
So there's no change at the top of the pecking order in Leinster. Kilkenny again reign supreme. Eamon Horan, RTE News.
Well, Offaly have won a second hurling All-Ireland title in the space of a week. They beat Laois by 3 points in today's Joe McDonagh Cup final. Brian Dignan top scored for the faithful with 1-4. The goals by him and substitute Oisín Kelly helped Offaly win a first ever Joe McDonagh title, securing their return to Liam McCarthy hurling for the first time since 2018. Now in the third round of the Camogie Senior Championships in Group 1, Kilkenny drew with Waterford, while Derry beat Limerick and Tip beat Antrim. The Dublin-Wexford game was a bit of a goal fest. Dublin scored 4, including this one, well worked in the end by Elise Jameson-Murphy, 4-13 to 1-10 in finish at Parnell Park. That's where Cork beat Clare 2-19 to 1-4, and Galway had a huge win over Down, 6-27 to 4 points. Armagh had a big win over Meath, and that was in the first round of the All-Ireland Ladies Football Championships today. The sides were level at half-time, 1-4 to 7 points. The goal coming for the Orchard County, Lauren McConville setting up Aoife McCoy. When Aoibhinn Cleary fisted a goal for Meath early in the second half, they did lead by 2 points, but Armagh's play was less laboured and they pushed on, scoring 2 more goals. 3-9 to 1-14 it finished at the Athletic Grounds. Now at the European Athletics Championships in Rome, there was disappointment for Sarah Lavin this evening. She finished 7th in this evening's final of the women's 100 metres hurdles. Lavin clipped the second hurdle in the final, having earlier won her semi-final heat. Elsewhere, Israel Olatunde was 6th in his semi-final heat of the men's 100 metres, outside his own season best time. Leinster are through to a semi-final meeting with the Bulls in the URC. Leo Cullen's side beat Ulster 43-20 at the Aviva Stadium today. Robbie Henshaw went over for the game's opening try. The first of 2 James Lowe tries helped Leinster to a 17-0 half-time lead. 23 points was the final winning margin. Earlier, the Bulls beat Benetton 30-23. Munster will play Glasgow Warriors in the other semi-final. Poland's Iga Świątek is the Roland Garros champion once again. The 23-year-old won her 4th French Open title today, beating the Italian Yasmin Paolini in a one-sided women's singles final 6-2, 6-1 this afternoon. Świątek was match point down to Naomi Osaka in round 2, but rallied for the tournament to win 4 more matches, including today's decider. And finally, let's finish with yet another fine Offaly performance. Watch this Eagle 2 on the first by Shane Lowry during his round of 68 at the Memorial event on the PGA Tour today.
A difficult angle, left hole location. I think you're just air to the right, center green. You take it on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's perfection. That's the start you're looking for.
Offaly on a roll. Back to you, Eileen.
That's great, Yvonne. Thanks very much.